Hi everybody! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Thank you all so much for your patience and kindness and love over the past while. Again, thank you all also so much. I'm sorry it's been a while, but here I am, here to catch up on things. Catch up on many things. Gotta get ahead. Got Fraction Railway. Got next Intervallo probably. Let's see. Hi Zola, hi King, hi K-Sun, hi Techno Critter, hi Hydra Fighter, hi Nomad, hi Werwer, hi Libachine, Erland, Mr. Stizzbly. Welcome, 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 Acadia, welcome. Oh, thank you all so much for waiting for me. And just again the kindness to allow me to not feel bad too much. Among other things, more like gotcha catch up. Gotcha catch up indeed. Hi Detensi, welcome, welcome, welcome. So did miss out on some stuff. So today I forgot to put like a 1 in the title. We will be getting into Twining Threads. Probably do this in 2 parts. So totally, I wanted to do it during the event, but totally missed out on that. Wasn't even able to like finish the store. So I'm forever bricked until the bot gak in a year or so. Didn't even get to do the reflect trial. So chat will have to tell me about how that went. I did do nocturnal sleeping on my own, though. Hope you don't mind. I just wanted to catch up because got content coming out at a pretty solid pace. And hi Beanie. And the other thing I wanted to say is with very unfortunate timing, I woke up today feeling a little bit under the weather. So I'm not feeling quite the best right this minute, so this might be, we'll see how this goes. But if I'm feeling a little lower, we might do like a longer one, and then I think I'll do the rest of it on Monday, is my plan. It's just a tiny bit. It might just be like lack of sleep from like stress and stuff. But I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't up for streaming enough, but it just might be shorter. But thank you. I'm really sorry for that timing. I wasn't gonna cancel this at this point. What tea do you have at standby? I have regular, just like English breakfast. Absolute great resonance. I gotta save it for the next Arknights collab, you know. I need Rosa Rodion and Executor Merceau. Need that. So where were we? So for teams, I do try and like to do like a theme team, which is clearly probably gonna be bleed themed. I don't know what like they're actually weak to, but probably bleed themed. But instead of like straight bleed, I thought we'd do like a sort of in between, like House of Spiders bleed. So the idea here is we'll, on the first 2 turns, we'll pop Don Quixote and then Isan, and then the 2 Kurokumos will come in, and then so we'll have like 4 rings and the 2 Kurokumos and Ryoshu. And that's the idea. We'll see how that goes, just cause I want to play with House of Spiders Ryoshu. I don't know if you saw on Twitter. Will it show? I don't know how this happened. But the game was very kind to me. Because sometimes it happens. Sometimes you're I don't... When I do like the paid, like free, like cheap roles, they tend to be, I tend to do them on like events in case I can like start getting extra currency. But I thought it's the special. Maybe I'll throw like my daily and then like a 10 pull. But then that happened. Stream relic, but I wasn't even on stream. But then giving up ring, you saw. I know, that's kind of the hard part. I mean, you're not just giving up ring, you're exploding Riensang. But that's the sort of idea behind it. Just to try something different than like straight bleed. But then if it totally doesn't work, we can swap to like pure bleed. I know I have somebody on my friends list that has a fully leveled Otis at least. But Yoshu kinda bonkers. It does make me feel bad for like the older like capstone seasonal highlight identities, because like even Wuthering Heights Heathcliff I think is really starting to fall off. Wild Hunt, I only really bring him out if I really need the AoE for like sinking team. But like Ryoshu is just going to another level, and then I fear if in a season or two, what could it mean if she falls off? I think Ishmael's probably aged the worst. I mean, because at least Spice Bush, who I haven't used in forever, at least has a very specific niche that we can still bring him out for. But I mean, one thing I think maybe if we get like an Uptide 5, like Uptide 5, maybe Blind Obsession could help her out a little bit, because I really would like her to survive a little bit longer, because she has a really cool identity. And she was like I mean, if you weren't there, she was bonkers when she came out. And like, look at her kit now. Like this like extra assist attack was unbelievable, really. Nobody could do that. And then this, and then Harpoon of Obsession did so much damage. Oh yeah, the one bit of sanity text. And you can get around it, but yeah, nowadays. A second Ahab Ishmael would play exactly like House of Spiders Ryoshu. Ahab does not care about her crew. That'd be interesting. I mean, actually, I'd imagine if like she was done in a modern sense, there would be more interaction with the other Pequod identities. It would be closer to like Heisho and Lord Honglu. They'd have some more interesting interactions with each other. But I think there's still the potential for like Gas Harpoon or like Ahab wearing like a lobotomy or an N-Corp Ego, for instance. And we also have Otis coming up. Big Brother Otis, which is very exciting because I'm enjoying NV Team. Oh, the trailer was so good. Although I was thinking again with like, I can't tell what skill is what here. So I used to be able to like go through a trailer, you know, and like, okay, here's how this works, here's how we can figure out, and like I'm putting my hands up. I don't know what is what here. And then Ishmael appears and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no! but I wish nobody would have to fall off. At least we have the facades now, but it's not quite the same. So that's where we're at. And then I guess we have no idea for the next intervallo where that's going. And then still waiting for Rhodey and Heathcliff. Which I do quite like the Burn Tremor team. I'm very excited to be able to get like the whole House of Spiders. Thoughts on Railway 6? Fear. I don't know how it's all gonna go down with like House of Spiders. Ryoshu leading the charge, how they're gonna try and balance around that. I have such distinct memories of like doing Railway, I guess, was it 5? We skipped one, now I don't remember. Railway 5, oh no, whatever the one that came out in Don Quixote season. What is this one? Oh, I guess 4 then? Whatever merry-go-round was, not this one. And doing it with like the Blood Fiend team, which it is really designed for, and thinking this team is where like Limbus has peaked. We're not getting stronger than this. It just all works together so well and does a lot of damage. And now look where we are. But finally, twining threads. But looking forward to seeing how we mix things up with the railway. I'm glad we get I forget, what is the Yinlong? Is that the name of the dragon? The abnormality. Very glad we get to see the big dragon, because I think that was the thing I missed most from not having one from last season. Was we missed out seeing that abnormality. Well, this is a good track. Bring that up. Starting with funeral, and I see the hospital bed. I guess I should say, even though I've like stayed off, like under the bus. I mean, I have seen the boss. Just because like she was, not that I did the reflect trial, but I have seen her. I do know what she looks like. But yes, hello everybody, thank you all so much for joining me and welcoming Mimi back again. It's always... Because I only like play on my PC to stream, right? I play on my like phone or iPad normally. So it's always funny to see what CGs I witnessed last. And that was certainly one. We're certainly getting into it. A funeral was held for Martin and the LCE researchers today. I thought I'd seen more than my fair share of deaths throughout my journey with the sinners. But never before had I witnessed this many people gather in one place to mourn the deceased together. The unfamiliarity made me feel a bit out of place. Am I doing this right? Most of the sinners seemed to be feeling that similar sense of being out of their element as well. Some of them were asking Merceau, apparently the most knowledgeable of all when it came to funeral process and etiquette, all manners of questions for pointers. Expressing respect is the primary purpose. Hand placement and gesture are unimportant if that objective can be accomplished. Hey, where do I put this? beneath the third pillar to the right. Okay, is there like a very specific funeral process in the city? It's like a crematorium? Can't any of you quit chattering for 1 second? Have you all forgotten the instruction to carry yourselves with solemn propriety that befits the occasion? Cut me some slack. I haven't been to funerals all that much. I mean, I did tell you to read the manual. I even underlined all the important parts for you. Sorry, Ishi. The wall of text was just too much for me. My focus started fizzling out from page 30 onwards. Hadn't every sinner here attended a funeral before? Back when we set foot on that grim manor in T-Corp. Ah, thou speakest of the funeral held in young Heathcliff's manor, dost thou not? The one bereft of the dead. Bereft of the dead. I mean, someone had to have died, because there wouldn't have been a property to dispute big enough to involve the Fee Association's notarization otherwise. I said this time and again, but it was just an intentional anonymity to prevent family strife. Interesting. I am so curious how they remember it. And we've never gotten, like, a full explanation of it. Intentional anonymity, is it? If the situation was indeed as thou sayest, then there was no helping it, forsooth. Yet, 'tis a pity that the dead wasn't named at their own funeral. The name of the deceased was... It was Catherine's funeral. She was very dear to Heathcliff. I've thoroughly reviewed the past 5 years' worth of local newspapers pertaining to the matter, yet no such name relevant to the case was identified, manager. Why would you do that? I mean, it's Merceau, but... Well, I guess he does just read every newspaper. I guess it's more of a generic, I was reading the newspaper then. Looking for this name specifically and necessarily. Ellipses. It's fine, Clockhead. At least you remember. That's good enough, innit? It had to be the Golden Bow's influence. Somewhere along the way, everyone's memories of the event at Wuthering Heights had become warped. The sinners seemed to think that the Golden Bow had always been there in that manner, and that Nellie was coaxed into stealing it by Herman. Linton, in their minds, was now a grieving brother who had been conducting research for his dead sister's sake. Nobody questioned it, not Don Quixote, not Faust. Every single sinner believed the twisted version of the memory as it was a proven fact. Heathcliff and I gave up trying to correct them. Instead, we just check in on each other's memories every now and then. Because if there's something that he and I realized, it was that anything tied to Catherine had already been painted over, every detail gilded and glossed over with the glow of the bow. What about Hindley? The point is, how should I put this? The circumstances of that funeral didn't exactly leave us much room to properly express our condolences back then. Between Heathcliff running on a rampage and that Hindley guy bent on interfering with the execution of the will, there he is. I assume that sort of impediment was pretty common stuff for funerals, but apparently not. No, well, I think it's actually rare to see a place that follows proper funeral procedures. I've traveled around quite a bit myself, but I can't confidently say that I've ever been to a legitimate funeral. The one at Wuthering Heights was one of the more proper funerals, if only for pretending to have a process. They at least prepared a coffin and even had a formal reading of the will. It seems funerals are far from being an everyday custom in the city. Funerals are considered a rather extravagant practice here as well. Hi, Hohenheim. Corporations are not eager to grant time-offs just because an irrelevant someone has died, and the price of real estate seldom makes it viable to buy land and erect memorial houses on it. I see. Then, what other options do people usually have? We used to just leave them where they died, and after one night's sleep, the bodies were gone, just like that. Better than paying loads of money to bury him somewhere just to have that stir up a load of daft rumors, huh? Rumors? You know, rumors about there being valuables buried with the bodies, or an arm being some fancy prosthesis, all that rot. Better to let the dead go in peace than to bury them in a grave just for some sods to later desecrate it. Got that experience. In Hongyuan, people tend to set up graves if they have enough room to spare. Of course, there wasn't a guarantee they wouldn't lose the burial room by the next restructuring day. Honheim scoffed and hung his head. OTS foolishness, all of it. Comforting the soul of the departed, another mendacity. All those funds so carelessly squandered, all for the purpose of furnishing the living with a fragile excuse to cling on. Those words from his heart, or just something said to convince himself? Whichever was the truth, I couldn't see the look on his face with his head tucked so low. He's got the glasses thing going. The funeral didn't last long. It was just a brief moment of silence, followed by a few quick goodbyes that were shorter still. The ceremony came to a close once Alyssa, who was still in recovery, came to pay her final respects. The flames devoured the coffins of Martin and the other researchers, announcing the end of their existence with the crackle of firewood. So, I suppose you'll be leaving now? Oh. We're staying until Gregor's stable enough to travel. Dante says they'll remain here until Gregor's condition settles. We're never leaving. We're still in Hongyuan, even in the Bakgak. Gregor came to his senses again a few days after his unforeseen metamorphosis in the battle against the Thumner's father. He was given a checkup, and Hohenheim said that there's no cause for concern. Physically, that is. The psychological assessment turned out disastrous, to say the least. Gregor was declared unfit for combat deployment for the time being. Well, good thing he's not the linchpin of my team. Actually, I didn't even give him an identity. I was just using him for the passive. Not even getting that, I suppose. So you won't be leaving just yet. Good to know. Then I assume you'll be okay with us borrowing Sinclair for a while? Well, he's not on the team either. Me? Yes, you. The LCA wants to look into the sign you manifested, Sinclair. The higher-ups didn't waste a second greenlighting the project, which means what I'm telling you was more a notice of investigation than a request for permission. Uh-huh? What investigation? What are you... Just a rather rudimentary instance of human experimentation. Calm yourself. Human experimentation? Did you really have to put it like that, boss? Not to worry, Sinclair. Swipe or two on your skin and maybe some talk therapy, that's all there is to it. Alyssa, that expression doesn't seem certain. Not really reassuring. Of course, if we had your consent, the avenues of research could vastly... No, I'm not giving you my consent. For your reference, the other departments have also submitted some quite enthusiastic requests for research and observational purposes. Well, you have no idea. They had to get Boss to fend off the LCA's Mirror World Observatorium department in their hissy fits. They wanted to be the first ones to get their hands on you and spearhead the research, you see. And had we allowed them, they'd have kept you for a good few months before letting you go. The least you could do is thank us and be a good boy and cooperate. Just in time. Our researchers are here. Alyssa waved at the researchers who were filing out of the funeral hall after paying their respects. It wasn't long before Sinclair found himself surrounded on all sides. Wait, I'm perfectly capable of walking there on my own, so just don't run any painful tests on me. Of course. Stay strong, Sinclair. All I could do was offer an unspoken encouragement to Sinclair, who sounded ready to collapse into full-blown panic any minute. What about you? Heathcliff's sprite is so funny. That's really good. It's such a funny sprite. I mean, I really want to know if they like tested it. It would be like it's gonna perfectly block some characters. I think it looks like he like rests it on Don Quixote if she's there. Because I mean, I know the sprites are from like those first promos, but even like some of that art changed. Because like in that promo art, Heathcliff's like all wet. What about you? You not going with them? Oh, it's back to the long-term recovery ward for me. I always thought scientific research was the one thing that flamed my passion. With the recent events having introduced me to the merits of paid sick leave, I realized that time off beats research projects in my book. Marginally. Enjoy it while it lasts. I highly suspect that every request for PTO submitted by our department will be rejected for the rest of the year. Well, it's true your average corporation doesn't give more than a week off a year. As soon as Alyssa trudged off with her dragging steps, the researchers seized Sinclair and carried really, him away. Alright, we should get going too. Oh, do you all have somewhere else to be? Well, I thought I'd go visit Gregor. I'm worried about him. Got something I said I'd help with. Gotta be there for it. I'm going with Sinclair to get some rest. Also to keep an eye on the researchers and stop them if they try anything fishy with the experiments. Nice, Ishmael. Let me know later if you need anything, Dante. The sinners fanned out in different directions. They seemed to have their own errands to run during our stay at the LCE. Everyone's busy with their own thing. The only ones keeping me company now were Ryoshu, who'd been filling the air around thick with cigarette smoke, and Don Quixote was sniffing and asking around at every corner for Vespa in a valiant quest for the new fixer's color whereabouts. Faust was still here too, staring blankly into the air. Is she accessing the Gesellschaft? You seem to have time to spare, manager. As I stood there, wondering what I should do next to pass the time, Hohenheim, who had apparently finished tackling and signing the sack of papers, walked over to me. This makes things rather convenient. There's something I intended to discuss with you and Sinner Ryoshu, a matter that requires your assistance. What kind of assistance? I don't know how helpful that is, Ryoshu. But I mean, maybe Hohenheim gets it. WKOA says CH. Wait a minute, did Ryoshu just step in as my interpreter? Not that I don't appreciate her gesture, especially since she'd usually snap at me and tell me to find someone else to interpret whenever the issue came up. But I can't help but doubt whether her choice method of interpretation actually accomplishes anything. There is, I must admit, a certain novelty in witnessing the reconstitution of that which requires interpretation into yet another linguistic form equally demanding of it. It would seem we are in need of more manpower. Scratching his head, Hohenheim looked around for a moment before coming to a sudden pause, as though an idea had crossed his mind. At the end of his gaze was a certain someone who was busy badgering LCCA employees with her relentless questioning. Who else, pray, might know where he is if thou knowest not? Now listen closely. The one I seek is a bearer of hair fashioned like the likeness of a bull. You there, why don't you join us too? Dost thou speak of me? The LCCA personnel They were cornered by Don Quixote, and her rather forceful interrogation regarding Vespa's whereabouts took the opportunity and fled the scene without so much as a backward glance the moment their captor turned her head to answer Hohenheim. Indeed, there is a task which requires your assistance. But I have yet more words to trade with the most noble yellow harpoon. You seek to emulate the virtue of chivalry. Does that entail turning down the earnest plea of those in need? For the sake of clarity and distinction, it would be prudent to assign you a different identifier from that of my assistant. You are to be number 2. That is, assistant number 2. I've not yet concluded mine exchange with the yellow harpoon, but no true knight would abandon those who call for aid. Pray, speak thy quest. How may I be of service to thee? Delegating the interpretation of manager's speech to number 4 has proven to be counterproductive. As such, your task will be to report to me what the manager says. Oh, that is indeed a simple task. However, this WKOA eludeth my understanding as well. Prithee, allow me but a little time to uncover its mystery. Relay the manager's word, not Cineriosh's. They are asking you what kind of assistance you need. The request for interpretation was not directed to you, but I cannot deny that your meddling in the present circumstance is a welcome one. It was simply that the irrationality and inefficiency of your suboptimal staffing choice and workflow had become sufficiently unbearable. Faust hoped that this was not some guileful scheme devised to elicit Faust's cooperation. In any case, manager, this request of mine concerns an investigation into the backdoors located in the House of Spiders. I deem that the two of you should be the ones most familiar with the structure and layout of the house. After all, you are the one monitoring the entirety of the 5-pronged assault operation, and Sinner number 4's familiarity does not bear repeating. Do we go to the House of Spiders right away? HOSRA. You have assisted enough. I like that smile. Perhaps you could help, Faust. Sure. Although not word for word, Faust relayed my intention to Hohenheim, who responded by shaking his head. Not immediately, no. There is one more member you should bring along. One more member? Seeing me tilting my head, Hohenheim pushed up his glasses. The apprentice, oh yay! The apprentice who was captured alive in the House of Spiders. Kira, she's regained consciousness. I feel like, actually, it's been a while since I watched the trailer. It's amazing I actually managed to forget that. Because she was the announcer. I thought it'd be, I was like, we're talking about not seeing Gregor, so I was like, why is the second one in the hospital bed? Now it is Kira. I wonder, oh. And then we should be jumping in, it looks like. Do we have a limited roster again? Okay, one sec, sip of tea. Okay, Kira voice. Not like I have amazing range, but I guess I'll be just... It's always so interesting, I mean, just the way they portray technology. Like, both familiar and different. Because I was talking about Project Hail Mary recently, and I liked how, like, tactile the technology felt. I feel like I prefer the familiarity than to... Like, I'm sure you could just do, like, super sci-fi, a super sci-fi hospital room where you can't tell anything. But we can all recognize the IV bags, and it's sort of more relatable in a way. That chair would kill my legs. That is a chair. Can it balance like that? That big, like, screen. Oops. The place Hohenheim led us looked less like in a recovery ward and more like an interrogation chamber. Though every single medical equipment installed around seemed to be state-of-the-art. Okay, it seems we have not improved upon IV bags. This place looks well-equipped. Probably a direct order from upper management. Although technologies to restore lost body parts are common enough in the city, a facility of this kind is required to preserve the original form of her lower body in the reconstruction process while keeping the cost reasonable. Reasonable, huh? Do I want to ask how expensive the other options are if this counts as reasonable? A windowless room, thick with the sharp scent of medicine and chemicals. I mean, it's a pretty cool scar. I hope Caramel gets a bit of an upgrade. With Big Brother Otis, besides being cut in half, but I was just thinking back. I thought this way with, Air Ishmael, Jichun Mail, that like Isang or Honglu would improve her. We'll see how that went. She's already pretty great. She is, but I want her even better. I want her the best. It needs to be... Man, I do think she's one of the best DPSs. I do think she does a little more on average than Ricardo, I think, when I've used her. But I need her to be even better. She deserves it. Oh, thank you, Slayer. Thank you. Oh, that's cute, dressing up your doggies. That's really, really cute. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm very happy to be back. Kira was sitting on the bed at the center of the room, kicking her feet as she regarded us. For someone recovering from bisection, she didn't look much different from how she had appeared when I'd seen her through the Sinner's shared vision. She was captured alive for the extraction of information, yes? How far along is the progress of the extraction? It hasn't yet begun, actually. We're waiting until the lines of information that warrant questioning can be isolated. So far, all available personnel have been fully engaged in analyzing the documents and items discovered in the House of Spiders. Then what you even doing here? There's work to be done contingent upon information obtainable only from a recent inhabitant of the House of Spiders. And following a discussion with the upper management, I've decided to put you to use as the company had originally intended. No TV, no comic books, just a super prickly glare and a cold shoulder whenever I ask for something to pass the time. Not even like a book? And now you suddenly need my help, huh? Give me one reason I should cooperate. It might not be like canonical to this season, but I like she's a lather sword. Hohenheim didn't so much twitch an eyebrow at Kira's biting tone, merely gave her a nod with a steely, imperturbed lovable expression. I didn't ask for your help. For you to use, I believe, is what I said. What? Your survival is not incidental. It is the result of a calculation. The company anticipates a potential profit by keeping you alive. Expected gain, as the term goes. I wish Lucio was here. Without such a forecast on the company's part, you would have already been disposed of. The upper management consists of people who would be disinclined to tolerate the daily maintenance and depreciation costs of this room, even at half their current numbers. Which brings us to our next point. Should you insist on maintaining this uncooperative attitude, the company may decide to convene a meeting to reassess your worth, or shall we say lack thereof, in its projected income statement. Well, suffice to say that such a reassessment would skew heavily against your favor. The outcome would be a recommendation for immediate disposal. I feel like the use of disposal was like extra grim when you remember Valentina. Hohenheim always had a way with words that could prickle and sting. But with Kira, it almost felt as if he traded the usual thorn off for a sharper knife, intent on twisting it right where it hurt. I'm dead meat as soon as my usefulness runs out anyway. It's not like you're gonna let me live, not after I killed a bazillion of your guys. So you anticipated some form of corporate-level retaliatory response against your person. That is indeed a curious line of reasoning. And I must tell you that, unlike your typical Brack Street syndicate such as the Middle, corporate entities of the city tend to avoid choices that may incur losses. The value of the information that could be extracted from an apprentice of the Middle, and the combat prowess honed under the tutelage of a great brother of the Middle, these two considerations are likely what increased your value in the eyes of the company. That's brutal, just being reduced to value in relation, not just like a value, but value only in relation. So the group who didn't even really accept you and the guy that bisected you. Huh, y'all got zero self-respect, huh? You should consider yourself fortunate. Huh? The heck are you on about? Other companies would not solicit your cooperation by means of verbal exchange. Your interrogator would simply open up your cranium, harvest your brain, and extract any and all necessary information without going through intermediary steps such as this. It's the Bina strategy. Even without resorting to such methods, the range of available means to compel the disclosure of information is practically limitless. Truth serums, hypnotic suggestions, electrical shocks and stimulations, and of course, procedures utilizing distortions and abnormalities. That being said, the LCE department prefers to distance itself from such uncivilized approaches that may entail complications and after effects. I do hope that we share a similar predilection. So freaking annoying, you know that, mister? The feeling is entirely mutual. Leaving the biting chill of his threats to sink in, Hohenheim turned towards the exit. Give her some push and bring her along. I don't quite seem to be myself today. No, disregard that. That was a rather foolish thing to say. I will defer this matter to you, manager. Work of this sort likely falls more within your capabilities than my own. Meow. And with that, Hohenheim stepped out of the room, leaving me to deal with Kira. His reaction was understandable. The LCE had only just finished laying its dead researchers to rest. Kira was probably the last person anyone would want to face right now, much less speak to. What should I even say to persuade her? I want a minigame for this. I was still caught in thought when someone, quite unexpectedly, made her way to Kira. Yoshihide? You. Heard you got stabbed in the back by Matthias. That's not true. Again, the cross-examinations. This would definitely be with Cyclops. Papa wasn't landing a fatal blow unless he cut through me too. That's why he did exactly that, to aim for the enemy's head. Remember all the wholesome fan art of the LCE adopting Kira before this intervallo came out? I do. I like that fan art. Oh, Kira. Besides, he made the right choice. A little sacrifice ain't a thing in a family. Kira! Family coming from him. A middle mutt thrown out of his kennel. Doesn't it sound ridiculous even to you? That's thrown out. Guy Matthias was a GB only by technicality. Messed up badly. Was still family by name, but underneath it, everyone hoped he'd disappear quietly on his own. He was that family member nobody wanted around. Same treatment for me, being his brat. Not surprising it's the ST. Same thing, I guess, for bowl cut too. Same tastes? Oh, young Ryoshu, could it be thou also dost harbor a passionate zeal for I quickly clapped a hand over Don Quixote's mouth as she smoothly chimed into the conversation. So, what exactly is your point? The point is you're taking too long. If you can't decide whether you want to live or die, I can shorten the hesitation. CQ, or I'll SYNC right this instant. Choose quickly or, and we know sync. What does that mean? Oh, cooperate. Cooperate quietly, or I'll snap your neck completely right this instant. SYNC isn't such a bad way to go if you're keen on taking that loyalty act straight to the grave. This is so crappy. Whatever, I get it, okay? I'll talk if that's what you want so bad. It actually worked? Fixers who go out in blades of glory aren't actually the strong ones. It's the ones who survive. It's not the strongest who survive. It's the survivors who are strong. All-time quote, all-time quote. The ones who survive. The ones who live to see another day and keep getting stronger. Anyway, Yoshihide, what's up with you talking in all weird-ass abbreviations? Like SYNC? That's so random. Who even says that? Yoshi didn't bother to reply and simply chewed on the mouth end of her cigarette. But is this really the right call? To her, we're probably the people she needs to settle the score with. As if. Half her tattoos are gone, Clock. They even confiscated her book. You think the middle sorry excuse for loyalty means so much for this stray that she'd bite us? Besides... No, better hear it from her instead. Hey, tell me why Matthias kicked the bucket. That's cause... Well, cause Papa was weaker than y'all. Yeah, you're the jerk's brat alright. Kira pushed herself up from the bed with a sour face, but at least she didn't argue back. And we called Hohenheim, who'd been waiting outside, back in. I assume the prisoner was successfully persuaded? You'll find your weapon on the table. You may use it in the event of an emergency. What the heck? I can't even unsheath it! You'll be able to use it without authorization. The code has been slightly adjusted. Oh, I want to use her as an ally unit. We can do middle team with extra middle. Now then, let us head to the House of Spiders at once. The back door is up and waiting for us. We made our way to the House of Spiders, with Kira trailing behind us, looking like she was smelling something particularly fishy on us. Although when I was doing the nocturnal sweeping Wayfarer. Yeah, those look meant for... Okay, good, normal to slash, endure... Okay. Hi Nagitona, welcome, welcome, welcome. I was doing the nocturnal sleeping Bulkak. They didn't buff... They didn't buff Shichun, did they? Oh yeah, cannot deploy. Okay, but like... Technically we can use everybody. I wondered if like... I mean, I guess we do have the summoning power. Yeah, I don't think we'll need like to borrow Otis for the backup. Oh yeah, that's Otis.
선원 집합. 이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
Oh, I like that. I like the sort of like little light up, like caution tape. I wonder if I was gonna say, I don't know, is that any, if it's just light, I don't know if that's any better for keeping people off things, but maybe it's like hard light or something. On the ring music is so good. Only a few days had passed since our last visit, but the place looked markedly different from what we remembered. The sight of the hollow, frigid atmosphere and the endless stretch of corridors hadn't changed. But Callisto's so-called artworks were now covered in white sheets, and unfamiliar devices were affixed all around the back doors. Prithee, who might those people thither be? Oh. Hello. Looks like some shady guys moved in already. Our guarded reaction prompted Hohenheim to step forward and gestured to one of the oddly dressed figures. Oh, W! It seems introductions are in order for both sides. This is team leader Alan from Wayfair. Oh! I do know what you look like. I remember you because there was that tweet that he accidentally replaced Alan's sprite in Kanto 8. That post did make it towards me. Which is hilarious, because yeah, he has the adorable smile. Which just sort of makes it even goofier, whatever weird programming went on, that he replaced other Alan. Wayfair Company, hello new W Corp. Wayfair Company? Oh, it is the back rooms. Is anyone gonna see the movie? Looks too scary for me. A corporate entity partnered with Limbus Company, responsible for providing portal technology. It has, on prior occasion, been referred to as the new or aspirant W Corp, though the name is an unofficial one. Our employees... I'm trying to think. I probably would have done like a... Because like, the suits are so chunky. The suits are so chunky, I probably would have done like a deep voice. But I know his face, so it looks like Emma a little bit. Our employees have also taken to calling you the new L Corp, something we have in common, given that we're both chasing after the same horizon. There's a movie, yeah, isn't it coming out like next week? I remember, that company vying to take W Corp's place, right? The same horizon. He's probably talking about getting recognized as a wing. After all, the old L Corp has already fallen, while W Corp, from what I've heard, is free falling at this point. Oh, Minty, welcome! Welcome, welcome! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate it. I hope your streams are going well too. And these are the manager and the sinners of the LCB department, our field operations unit. Frequently deployed to deal with on-site matters firsthand. Did I play the new Arknights? I can answer that quickly. Yes, I did play the event. I did not read it though, because I haven't read any of the Rhine Lab. And I want to... Because reading the Masses Travels as like my first event did not go very well. I'm being much more careful of making sure I read the prerequisite events now. But I do want to catch up, because like... What a cool design about everything. Oh, and I did get nasty. The discussion is a quasi-confirmation to the overarching story. I know, I was like, we've kind of been assuming it, but to actually have it confirmed is like kind of heavy. I mean, we've been assuming it forever. Like, I forget like what's confirmed and what's not confirmed. Particularly when like some of this stuff is sort of related to like uptight stories as well. Ugh. It's funny to just like the fact I always kind of felt like you'd probably want to, if you're vying for a new corporation or to take the new corp spot, or become a wing, you probably want to keep it a little bit on the down low so like the main company wouldn't snipe you. But I guess with current W Corp doing so poorly, that's not really a worry. And you can like get investors more interested. And there just isn't an L Corp anyway at the moment. They have more personnel, but the rest are tied up with other duties elsewhere. Only a handful will be joining this investigation effort. Oh, and quick one more Arknight. Sorry to distract. And it because I know like Lone Trail is considered like one of the best ever events. That's one I've sort of been saving in case I want to stream it at some point. But I need the official PC port first. I understand. Field operation units are almost always understaffed anyway. The support you've provided is more than sufficient. It's really cute. Alan gave an understanding nod. The man slipped off his funky helmet before extending his hand in greeting. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. The name's Alan, leader of Door Breach Team 4. Like, this, I can only see him, like, right next to Diatu. Likewise. Before Faust could even relay my reciprocal greeting, words spilled out of Alan's mouth in a strangely uneven rhythm, as if my ticking didn't bother him at all, like he was sticking to a script he had rehearsed. I've heard great things about you, Manager Dante of Limbus Company, and the bus team's performance. You capitalized on the suppression of distortions at T-Corp as I leveraged to push your products, and the profits were nothing short of staggering, I heard. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be distortion resolving specialists to the public, but what's that product part about? The manager says it was merely a matter of luck. They also look forward to working with you on this task. Are you the interpreter? In that case, I'll be sure to consult the manager only when both of you are available. Sure. Faust didn't seem particularly pleased with the role Alan had pinned on her, but she nodded anyway. Whoosh. She quietly came to my side and answered my earlier question while Alan carried on with Hohenheim. He's referring to the monolith sales project. The credit was attributed to the LCB at the express request of Mr. Herbert, T-Corp's executive director. Oh, so that's how the rumors spread, huh? We reviewed the agreements. Now, I understand you'll be assisting in verifying what lies beyond the backdoors. It's got no eye highlights. And now, okay, now we do. I'd appreciate it if you could share any prior knowledge you have about where these backdoors connect, as detailed as you can make them if you don't mind. It's funny to think how, like, LobCorp, I mean the game, definitely, like, builds on SCP lore. So I'd be very interested to see, like, Project Moon's take on the back rooms. I can't say I'm, like, into the back rooms or anything, although I do kind of find, like, the idea of, like, collaborative fiction, interesting. That's I think, like, very cool about all the SCP projects. And if I wouldn't, like, call myself an SCP fan or anything, I haven't really read much. But, like, the original post, the, like, little original, like, screen post with, like, the photo, that really gets me. The creepy liminal space, like, you don't need to do much with it for me for it to, like, actually give me goosebumps. And, like, getting lost in that. It's, like, amazing how evocative that one photograph is. Even without, like, knowing the term liminal space. Ooh. Kondheim fixed Kira with a pointed look. But Kira responded by defiantly cocking her head in a show of irritation. She still gave up a sliver of information she had. Honestly, I've got pretty much nothing if it's about... if it's about Robo-Unk in his room. I'm sure there's, like, a streamer reaction compilation just from this line. I mean, I've seen Albina hit up that door and the other one over there when she was popping out to farm stuff. Farm stuff. Are we using, like, farming in, like, video game terms? But... farm? Oh, it's a gathering material, yeah. I mean, maybe it could have been, like, literal farming for... literal farming? Like animal bones? I see. What kind of material? Human guts and all that. We come back hauling piles of them. They're probably connected to some backstreets area. The backstreets, Any more details? Can you stop prying? You're low-key pissing me off. What? That's literally all I've got, for real. For a moment, Alan leveled Kira with a stiff expression. Whoa. And even before I could register what had happened, Kira's head jerked to the side from a sudden punch by Alan. Okay, I gotta say the goofy... only knowing Alan from, like, the goofy statue screenshot did not prepare me for this. Ugh. I thought Kira was nimble enough to dodge a surprise attack easily, but this one seemed to have caught her completely off guard. She stood there blinking, eyes round in rude surprise. Actually, it wasn't that he caught her off guard. It was the motion of the punch itself that somehow felt off. The fist being raised, the arm being extended, the blow making contact. The chain of actions was there, but it just didn't look normal. Alan, now in Hopkins' tier. Did you just hit me? What the heck's wrong with... As Kira reeled from the unexpected strike, Don Quixote spoke up in a cold, sharp tone. Thou, what manner of discourtesy is this? Huh. With all that whining, I thought the brat could use a lesson to remind her of her place. I had no intention of damaging your company asset, of course. I simply assumed the level of warning would not be inappropriate in this case. Team Leader Alan. That sort of conduct may not be an issue in your organization, but it is here. Should it happen again, do understand that we may choose to terminate today's joint engagement without delay. My apologies. I'll keep that in mind going forward. Ellen stood down without arguing back, but Kira looked far from satisfied with how Hohenheim handled the situation. He gets to sock me in the face and walk off scot-free. So frickin' annoying. Fortunately enough, her grumbling didn't escalate into her lashing out at Alan. That punch just now, what was that? I don't think we're gonna have any time for standard fare ideas necessarily this season, but I want Wayfarer Corp ideas just to understand how they could fight, and some more backstory. It exhibited a behavior that defied the standard laws of physics. Presumably a form of technology utilized by Wayfarer Company. Let us resume the task at hand. Sinner Ryoshu, give Team Leader Alan whatever information you have. That door should lead to one of the ring-protected turfs. The other two on the left, remember they were marked with an X painted in blood. But I, H, and I, where they actually led. So blurry. Have no idea. It seems that's all the information we can provide. Will that suffice? We now know that the doors likely connect to a perceivable area. That's already a big improvement in terms of intel for Wayfarer Company's backdoor mapping progress. Which means there's less chance of us encountering a space beyond human perception past these doors. I want to see a space beyond human perception. Alright then, I'll proceed with connection verification. Which doors shall we test first? We'll start with the one Sinner Ryoshu mentioned. Huh, you don't trust me at all, huh? Why even bring me along? Ignoring Kira's jab, Alan began setting up various devices on the door, and soon an elegant white door opened before us. Shall we? Art thou joining us as well, young Hohenheim? Just this once. There are procedures for handing over field operations. Okay, let's see what's in there. Ooh! What the? Is this some kind of wildlife exhibit? Oh, I just remembered. Way back before this event was coming out. I mean, I guess it wasn't that long ago. I did download some papers on Bovism to read, but didn't get around to it. Probably should have done this before. But I guess we'll see what we learned from the event. The moment we stepped in, the lights hit us all at once, drawing squints and frowns from the sinners. Next to my lack of physical eyes, I could make out a room filled with statues, or perhaps taxidermied animals. It felt like a gallery of sorts, but it was so quiet that the air itself seemed to carry a strange, somber weight. After a moment, someone shattered the silence, but it wasn't Don Quixote, our usual suspect. Holy, the scale is just insane. That's the whale from the 8 Association Great Lakes Special Issue. Kira, who seemed to be beaten down all along, exclaimed with a bit more energy in her voice. Man, seeing it in real life sure hits different. And the Indigo Elder solo one-shots these monsters with that harpoon of his, huh? Can Ishmael get that ID? It's a Great Lake whale. Doesn't look like the one we've encountered, though. Organisms of various sources can be identified here. Singularity modified, outskirts born. They look almost alive. They're not, right? No, they're not alive, but... Duh. The Robonk did say that the ring has these zoos where they put monsters on display alive. Man, this would have been way more fun if we could see the moving ones. Everything here is dead. Meh. Still looks crazy sick, though. The vibe really hits. Even though she was trying to play it cool, Kira kept sneaking glances at the massive horn display off to the side, clearly surprised in a way she couldn't hide. That said, I felt a distinct shortage of hyperactivity, given the presence of a certain somewhere in our party. Don Quixote? The eyes of a second kindred, of House Tepes. What is it doing here? I mean, it was probably obvious that we'd have Vlad the Impaler as a blood fiend. But a second kindred... Oh, that one? At the mention of the word kindred, I couldn't help but follow Don Quixote's gaze. Opposite the whale was another kind of exhibit. It contained items leaning on the more gruesome side of things, starting with a crimson eyeball that caught Don Quixote's attention, and body parts like hands and bones that looked as though they'd been stripped from the human body. It's a gallery of the School of Fauvism, probably a main studio at that, which comes with a maestro's atelier and an auction house. Alan. We'll be making our exit shortly. Prepare to initiate lockdown sequence. One funny thing I learned was that both Pointillist and Fauvis were originally insults that Related adopted as the names of the art movements. I think that's really interesting, the like... taking the insult of the wild beast and then using it. That was based off like a specific exhibition, right? That's something I wanted to look at, like what that exhibition was that like prompted such a reaction. This sort of like time, moving from Impressionism, and you get like Pointillism, Divisionism, also called Chromoluminarism, which is an awesome name, Neo-Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, and everything. I think it's such a fascinating time where, like, we're developing these new art styles, and we're ending up with something just so completely new. It gets its own name, for instance, and that the people viewing it would have never seen anything like that before, and it can, like, create such a visceral reaction. And I guess now there's so many more people, we have access to all of this online, we don't necessarily get that experience of seeing stuff that is just so completely never done before. Like, I want to have that experience of like watching a brand new movement and seeing just something that has never existed or nobody came up with it. Before Hohenheim could even finish his urgent transmission, numerous footsteps closed in from somewhere nearby. Hello! Oh, hello! Turning toward the sandal shoes clacking on the floor, we found strange figures wearing animal masks, staring directly at us. Are you Matisse? The ring-related music is so good. That presence is kinda like Papa's. Ain't no way. It's not a raid boss we can clear at our level. We gotta get out of here. It's not that simple. Retreating is not a viable solution here. This door is connected to the House of Spiders. Escaping without installing a security system will invite pursuit. We must stall them until Alan is ready to initiate the lockdown sequence. As tension thickened, one of the strangers, who wore a peculiar bone mask, stepped forward. The voice that spoke to us carried equal part curiosity and delight. You came through that door. I said it, sometimes you get a character and I'm like, I have no idea what voice is being envisioned here. You came through that door. Then the house's fall wasn't just a baseless rumor. A stray little spiderling fallen from her parents' web. How many years has it been? You. Who are you? Alright, it makes sense that you would fail to recognize me. I used to wear a different mask back when I used to visit as your tutor, didn't I? A wolf, if memory serves right. Yes, that must have been when I was quite captivated by the sensation of tearing into the raw, still thrashing flesh of living prey, and the predator's ferocious, yet cavernously resonant howling. Rings a bell. For that maestro whose whole lesson was a 3-hour sermon praising the intensity of primary colors and the strength of living creatures, then what was it? It is Matisse! Emile Benoit! I guess Matisse was too obvious. That's right, Emile Benoit. And they say you can't hatch a phoenix from a chicken's egg. Doesn't always apply, I see. Looks like that mind of yours is still sly as a raven, unlike your nurse father's. Don't presume. I only remember you because the tactility of hides and guts made for a passable AW. At first glance, it looked like Ryoshu was casually taking a trip down memory lane with the maestro. But I had a feeling she was, in fact, dragging this out on purpose to buy us time. The lockdown sequence thing. How much longer till it's ready? In Hohenheim, the lockdown sequence. Don Quixote, who had been shooting the ring members an incensed glare sparked by the discovery of a kindred's eye, swiftly relayed my words to Hohenheim without even a hint of our earlier shenanigans. I'm afraid the progress and speed of the lockdown sequence lies in Alan's hands, not mine. It is by its nature a time-consuming work. We cannot expect haste. Perhaps that does make this a suitable juncture to trial Plan A. Plan A? Any suggestions that involve Don Quixote removing her shoes will not be dignified with a serious discussion. Instead, maybe what Hohenheim had in mind had nothing to do with Don Quixote's shoes, because he opened his mouth as though he was about to retort to Faust's categorical rejection. But the moment he followed Faust's eyes and saw what she was looking at, he quietly shut his mouth and said nothing further. Faith in potentiality is not something I dislike. As for this, however, this seems more like grasping at straws. At the end of their gaze was Ryoshu's blade, Arayashiki. I was going to try using it anyway. I've long wanted to see if a maestro's death is any different. Telling her we were just leaving won't work, will it? No, it won't. Every individual present here would be quite the fascinating specimen to the artists of the ring. We are practically a windfall of inspiration and material that has so conveniently been delivered to them. It is improbable that they will allow us to return unharmed. Faust is right. Jin Hohenheim are geniuses, and Ryoshu is the wielder of Arayashiki. Don Quixote is a kindred of a higher generation, and I happen to house a golden bough in my head. I have no idea how much information the ring has on us. But even if they knew nothing, they wouldn't let us go easily. Are you sure about this, Ryoshu? Does it matter if I'm S-A-T or not? Sure about this, clock. Think think of that woman as Lei Hung, and do as you did in HC's mansion. I'll take care of the rest. Right, that's probably our best shot. What Ryoshu meant was quite clear. Resonate with the Golden Bow, secure an advantage to fight on equal footing, and catch them off guard by slowing down the flow of time. A cut from the Arayashiki, even if it doesn't give us a real fighting chance, might at least stall the Maestro long enough for us to give us time to get away. This floor of the exhibit only houses submissions from students and docents. But if you look closely enough, there are some passable ones that show the promise of excellence. And above all, this is the gallery of the School of Fauvism. And mine, the gallery of Emile Benoit. Which is why I would have preferred to take you without an unnecessary fight, if possible. A shame. Still, we're talking about a unique relic here. A masterless one at that. Acquiring the Arayashiki makes it worth the cost. If you want a taste. Huh? Confusion flickered across Ryoshu's face as she tried to unsheath her blade. What's the matter? How? The lock the House of Spiders used to bind the Arayashiki no longer exists. So why? Why can't I draw the blade? Now that's unexpected. So the rumors of you mastering that relic, were they false? Araya! The Maestro only gave a loose swing of her arm, but it was enough to make Ryoshu recoil. A shadow of surprise crossed her face. The wound looked nothing more than a light gash, yet the Maestro's contemplative gaze shifted between the blood on Ryoshu's arm and her own as though the attack had been an experiment to prove a hypothesis. It wasn't hard to guess what she was thinking. Noticed, did you? I had my doubts from the moment I saw you today. Was the House of Spiders a success or a failure? Tell me, Yoshihide, what do you think a serpent's defining strength is? What do you want about now? Ask any student and they'll give you the same predictable answers. The deadly venom, the sleek scales. Why, it's lamentably disappointing. I think Araya's saying, this is not worth it. The Maestro advanced towards us with an assured certainty. Then seized a beige thread dangling from the ceiling. No, calling it a mere thread would be wrong. It was something that resembled a thread, yet it felt much more disturbing. Oh, I, for one, have a particular liking for the jaw and the spine. The flexibility of the spine, linked like a chain, and the jaw, bound not by bone but by ligaments that allow the animal to swallow its prey whole. Perhaps I should have said that I admire their structural refinement. The thrice cold ring on her ring finger gave off a cold glint, and the walls and the ceiling suddenly began to echo with the sickening squelch and crack of flesh and bones assembling. What the heck is that? Which brings me to ask, what better way to claim this delivery of promising material with a single bite than a work of art fashioned from mistake? The Maestro plunged her arm into the long serpentine body of a monster. Her sheer presence radiated a pressure as oppressive as that of the Nurse Fathers, only more primal and untempered. Consider it a privilege. This is the first time this piece has ever been exhibited to an outsider. Hohenheim, is the lockdown sequence still not ready? No, it's not, because I know there's a fight here. 1 minute to go, step aside. The attack from the Eagle Gear Hohenheim hastily brandished didn't even last a moment. The weapon was locked from his hand. Oh. Here is helping! As I scrambled to equip the sinners with their identities, something abruptly stopped the beast-like appendage midway through its hurtling motion. And the one who intercepted the blow... Oh wow, look at that! Was Kira struggling to push back against the serpentine arm with her still sealed blades. Kira? Did she suddenly have a change of heart I wasn't aware of? This wasn't the plan at all. Obviously not. She couldn't have changed her mind that quickly. Because the look on her face couldn't be anything other than that of utter regret. The middle, You're someone who doesn't seem to be a proper member. You've inked quite the quantity of tattoos on yourself. Ah, you must be the new kit Matthias took in. Why do you stand in my way? I'm already regretting it, alright? Damn it. They're definitely gonna ditch me here. Why did I even... I'm not gonna leave you. Must be instinct taking over. Couldn't fully shake off the opponent's killing intent, so the body chose to clash head-on. So the behavioral facet of the psyche can be controlled with suitable training. Unexpected data, but useful to be sure. It is psychologs. Shut it, mister. Quit yapping and let me use my blades. Authorized and ready. Lifting locks. Now. Kira's thermal weapons emerged from their sheaths with a metallic clang. She used the recoil of the motion to skid back and assume a defensive stance. Naturally, that broke Benoit's arm from the deadlock as well. The maestro lashed again with that monstrous limb, but... Huh? 'Tis a foul injustice to strike against an unprepared opponent in a duel. Behold, for I shall allow thee a glimpse of the badass form that only the most renowned of fixers have displayed through the ages. Seeing an opening, Don Quixote slammed into the arm with her full might, knocking it off its trajectory. Predictably, however, the sheer force of the maestro's attack instantly reduced her to a red splotch of flesh and bone, sending her remains crashing into the door. Rip. Ready to initiate lockdown sequence. I will seal the door immediately upon your exit. Everyone to the door. Faust, retrieve the organic remains of sinner number 3. As Faust made her exit with what was once Don Quixote, the students of the ring surrounded Kira, barring her way out. A hollow chuckle slipped out of her lips. No! We'll come back for you! Called it for real. This is exactly why I didn't want to get involved. Taking Kira back with us would mean having a sizable force of the ring trailed right behind her through the door. Kira, too, seemed to have realized the risk that no one in their right mind would want to take. She lowered her head in defeat, as though she knew full well the fate that awaited her. Such a dumbass. What was I thinking, diving in like that? You don't just stand there. Get over here now. But these guys are gonna come flooding in if I... You. TTM. It's that one. Want to get cleaved in half again? You pin this on me later. You pin this on me later. You're gonna pay. Blocking the maestro's arm by a hair as it came down on her again. Talk too much. Time to move. Talk too much. But I like both. Kira hurled herself towards the door with every bit of strength she could muster. More than a few students rushed in through the doorway, chasing after the sinners who had gone in ahead, but we can handle a few. Lockdown sequence complete. All backdoor links have been cut. Fortunately, Alan managed to sever the connection between the two backdoors before the maestro could cross over. Bowl cut. Think you can still use your arms? I'm fine. So she says. They're cute together. Kira would be a strong enough addition to fight for us, but the ring members that have managed to cross formed a rather sizable force. Fighting them off with just the sinners I have at my side would not be the best course of action. In that case... Guys, I assume you're all available right now. As soon as I called out to the sinners, their voices come through Hohenheim's radio one after another. I guess so. Ready for your order, Executive Manager. I, Otis, am prepared to answer your call whenever and wherever. Hang on, I just need to finish this bite. Everyone, to me. That's a cool CG. I'm glad in chat I have a whole bunch of Sinclairs. Let's take a look at, oh, LC question mark, crossed out the middle, House of Spiders, the fingers. Time for some warm up. I'm just seeing, oh. Yeah, they're crossed out even here. I assume this is pretty similar. We don't actually get to control it, right? Yeah. Violet, Breaking Slam. River, okay. Now let's actually take a look. Feral Phobos, Student of the Ring. Okay, I wrote preparation if this target does not have mold color blue, which is about sinking. Max stack 9, just check in case these are different from Rhodia's. 1 hit, gain 1 sinking potency for every 3 stack, once per turn. 5 stack, lose 5 SP. If the middle uses their tattoos for self-augmentation, does that make their rings tattoos more brands that, when forcibly applied, weaken their enemies? Oh, interesting. I didn't think of them as like marks like that. I sometimes forget the in-game sprites have a sway to their idle stance. That like early Ruina ones did too, and then they removed it. Risk Expressionism, Mold Color Blue, Clash Power, Bleed Sinking, Mold Color, to Unbreakable, okay. 5+, keep an eye on that, because Unbreakables are a pain. Does not stagger. Clash Lose does not stagger, does not trigger sinking, thank you. Finishing Touch, Coin Power +1 for every 6 Bleed Sinking, max 2. Also 50%, 5+, convert all skills to unbreakable, 3+ sinking, sinking bleed, haste. Oh, this unit is haste, reuse this coin, once per skill. Partial rework, a lot of mold color blue, or blue. Intense primary color blue. Before hitting, if the target does not have sinking, inflict +3 sinking. That's a fair amount. The Phobies Master Shovel Hibu. Oh, it is an owl. I was just thinking they look a bit. It's a goat owl. It looked a bit owly. I guess the wings would make that obvious. Mold color haze, blue. They're beasts that fall in and out of vogue within the school of Fauvism, yes, but a true artist must take fierce pride in that single animal as the underdrawing, which best represents their unique self. Oh, your fursona. Despite this wisdom, however, there are some who flit from beast to beast, as though the self is nothing more than a costume to be worn and discarded. Alacritous Expressionism. This unit's speed is faster than target, clash power. Final brush stroke when this unit is killed. Okay. And then let me check. Okay. Just straight up dog. Wild stroke. The scene rapide. Speaking of doggies, I'm afraid dog. Come to see the other doggies? Target does not have bleed. Painted and furl. At less than 50% HP if the target is 5 plus mold color. Use coin 3 an additional time. Convert all coins on the skill to unbreakable. Clash lose. Bleed, bleed, sinking bleed. Final power, inflicting bleed, rouge. Free bleed count. The first step is always but a single animal, and with every quest for art and ferity, another beast is layered atop the previous specimen. Oh, interesting. I didn't think that was like more of a cat's tail. Willing Inspiration. When this unit or an ally is hit, gain 1 offense level up next turn. Once per skill terms of return. Faltering Inspiration. Fragile, fragile. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Let's just get this going. Let's see. How is Kira's clashing?
최선을 다했다.
First Don Quixote was gooped. Now she's erased from reality. Okay, at least we get to use. Always nice to get that skill 3. He's so cool. Hey, Kira's doing pretty well.
남았어도 이 정도쯤은
I
이
missed that.
순간이 다가올 되어내리라.
It'd be fun if, like, even for this ID, like, Kira actually counted as a house of spiders.
짜증나게. 저련.
Okay. Let me... Oh no, the rings are fine. They're the only ones. This isn't gonna be a house. Isn't gonna be a full house of spider. Unless they start dying. I thought she'd target twice. The twice comes if you do a if you kill a house father first. Oh, the sound effects? Okay, I can turn it up. Or down, I mean. So that's why I killed Don Quixote first. I didn't want to do the both of them.
그려는 대로. Yeah, there's a lot going on in these kits. There's definitely gonna, with all these ideas, there's probably like details I can't even bring myself to remember. 숨막히도록 견뎌왔고 절박하게 갈망했으니 헤아릴 수 없이 저주했으니.
Yeah, so I do Don Quixote first because I only want to get rid of Rian-sang.
otherwise, if I did Ryansong first, then we would kill like Don Quixote and Albina on the second turn. Okay, we can do this.
이 순간이 다 되어내리라. 예측, 의미, 몰아치는 것을
Didn't even get to the third coin.
처절한 원망뿐.
It's only the first door, and the impediments are already beyond expected levels. No, we're only in like third node. I swear, I thought that was it for me back there. Events of this nature won't be frequent. We are merely beset by ill luck. If you just listened to me and picked another door, we wouldn't have had gotten cooked like that in the first place. Like, why even drag me into this if you weren't gonna trust me, weirdos? We would have opened them all at the end of the day. SD. Same difference. SD? What's that? Same difference. Again, why shorten it like that? Just say duh or something. Or just spell it out and say it was anticipated. That's W-A. Wasted... Eh? Good work, everyone. Wayfarer does have a team dedicated to this sort of task, but the mortality rate is quite high. Honestly, I was bracing myself for the worst. The odds of completing the first door of an expedition without any casualties are under 15%. This, by all measures, counts as a flawless expedition. Tapping away at his device, Alan addressed us with an amicable smile. He seemed totally different from the same man who had manhandled Kira with a fist to her face. Those Fauves won't be able to cross over anymore with the door completely locked down, right? That cannot be asserted with certainty. Worthless advice, thank you. Are you saying more might come? The corridors and backdoors have always been the ring's turf clock. And those Fauves beasts have endured as a long-standing faction within the ring. If they got that much history, they must know many backdoors, both the origin and the destination points. Alan clarified what Ryosha was hinting at. Yes, compared to them, we lack sufficient knowledge of alternate routes, which makes it difficult to prevent infiltration. No need to conserve yourselves overmuch. Even if that were the case, it is unlikely they would move on the House of Spiders so soon. They could always rush for a surprise attack, though. Even that Falvus Maestro seemed to lack clear intel on the event that took place at the House of Spiders. If so, it follows that they'll need time to assess and deliberate about the situation. The situation? The logical scope of their concerns will be identifying the organization that has secured the House of Spiders, the possibility of additional traps beyond the back doors, and the like. Once all backdoor-related procedures tied to the House of Spiders are completed, the resulting security framework should be able to preempt and block any infiltration attempts. This operation is more important than I thought. That aside, why couldn't I draw the blade? Is it the new scabbard's fault? Ryosha lifted the sheath sword with an irritated frown. That's when I felt a faint vibration. The blade was twitching, ever so slightly. That quivering was faint. 'Twas seen by all, indeed. Dang, I saw it too. Is it possessed or something? I guess it's a possessed sword. Looks like I wasn't the only one who saw the sword twitching, as though it wasn't pleased at all with how Ryosha was talking about the scabbard. Ryoshu's gaze lingered on the sword before slowly shifting toward the back doors. Could it be that seeing the scabbard brought back some memory of Araya? Ryoshu, do you... Is it an SS? A demon age? An enchanted blade? Which is it? It's probably neither of those. Nor is it a sentient sword. This presents a fine opportunity to conduct another examination of the sword. Excuse us for a moment, Team Leader Alan. Please feel free to go ahead. The attack just now damaged some devices. They're going to have to perform some maintenance before continuing. There's plenty of other work for me to do while you're away, too. Are we to return to the headquarters research facility, then? No, that won't be necessary. There is a facility here that should prove more than adequate. Oh, I'm sure? Moving would be like moving an area, moving to a different area. Yeah. Yeah. And that's too close to like leaving Hongyuan, so we can't do that. Let me in! I don't know why it does that sometimes. We're dethroning mouse with this one. I didn't think that was possible. Yet here we are. That's good work. Conan brought us to what looked like a research lab, lined with cables, rows of screens, and diagrams full of complex symbols and shapes. I didn't know there was a place like this in the House of Spiders. This is a forward base constructed by Limbus Company following the Operation Spider Pyre. It did not exist prior to the House's fall. It is intended for additional backdoor investigation and research into irregular phenomena observed during the operation. Irregular phenomena? An example. Research subjects such as a spatial analysis of correlation between the emergence of Sinner number 11 sign and the manifestation of possible future. Oh. Looking around, I spotted Sinclair and a group of researchers surrounding him, the same people who had dragged him off earlier. They were accompanied by a gaggle of sinners who had tagged along to either watch the show or kill some time while they took a breather after work. I mean, I could see, like, Heathcliff as well being in the Protect Sinclair group. Hohenheim, how long will the examination take? With Sinclair's biometric assessment concluded, the analyzer device should be available for the relic now. Which means that it should be finished in an hour from now, at the latest. The scabbard rattled again at the mention of an hour. I don't know why or how, but the way it swayed almost felt like a child trembling. Raya! It's moving again. Come along, Ryoshu. Expect you'll want to witness the procedure. Fine. Oh. You give me just 1 second to respond to a text without me. I have to use my phone for just a second. Just a second. That's a good face. Okay. That's just me plugging in my phone, don't worry. Okay, sorry. Ryoshi and Hohenheim headed off to the side. The examination was probably going to start immediately. Time to get Sinclair then. Wait. I was making my way towards Sinclair, who was getting bombarded with questions, when an unexpected figure behind a pillar caught my eye. It was Vespa Crabro, with a big piece of paper covered in crooked handwriting taped to his back. Vespa? Snack thief? Manager. Karen snacks. Mr. String Bean ate all of them up. Now this is a good combo. Sorry, but I think there's been some misunderstanding. Verg, kick his ass. Not only is this matter not worth pointing fingers over, but Karen also shares some of the responsibility for leaving them out on the table unattended. Yeah. I mean, I do that too. Sometimes I put them away and people eat them. Not fair. I mean, if you put them on like a snack table specifically, with a whole bunch of other snacks, maybe I'd say you gotta be a little bit more careful. But generally when I'm out and see stuff on the table, I would assume it's someone else's. Still, I would prefer you exercise more care next time, or you'll put me in a tough spot. Understood. Karen, super silky mode engaged. Not talking for half a day. Deploying super pass bitter candy. I want the voice acting. I think someone made a joke earlier about the Arknight spot gak. I want that voice acting. I have no idea how they do it. We get like the Korean dub for the Arknight's characters. But I want it. Beep beep. Mode disabled. So cute. I'm not sure if this is an appropriate request, but may I remove the paper from my back now? It's a little inconvenient for me. Karen forgives this time. Next time, no mercy. Best make sure she doesn't listen to that radio channel again. Vigilius looked on with an inscrutable expression as Karen peeled the snack thief sign off Vespa's back. Should have been a CG. Vespa with a silly sign on his back. Make sure to remember this. I don't have to think I'm burning through what little candy chance I have left on such trivial nonsense. Okay. Stray dog wants down. Stray dog, you'll sleep. Make sure to remember this, so I don't have to think I'm burning through what little candy chance I have on such trivial nonsense. Thank you. Vespa gave a polite thanks, but he was already picking something off another plate and stuffing it into his mouth. Wait a minute, I was saving that for later. I assumed you were being picky. Well, now you know. Yeah, I still see you gobbling up my share. He took my snack too, Verg. Kick his ass. Rodion Ramonovich. I'm aware that half of the total snack budget allocated to each sinner is being funneled into your snacking expenses, and now you're raiding the LC's supplies as well. Still, that's how it's been agreed upon, okay? Besides, that's... No! You can't say that. Although, I mean... Is she allowed? I mean, I would have to say, I think if she got the... I mean, there's been plenty of speculation who's gonna get the ID. I don't think we expected to go to Rodion, but I like it. I think normally, like, people do Heathcliff. I mean, people normally expect Heathcliff. There's still. I'll turn the music up a little bit. I think people normally expect Heathcliff for that ID. I like Ishmael Angelica, though, but that's partially the same voice actor. Jokes. Trying to think. I feel like I've seen Isan, but I think that's more just like. I guess there is like Dead Wife there too. That and just the look. But I mean, if Garnet can be the Black Silence, I think anybody can. The lines on Vergilius's brow look deeper than usual today. Hoping to help him out of this endless cycle of snack-related headaches and to satisfy my own nagging curiosity, I drew near a guide and broke his brooding silence with my TikToks. Oh, you saw with the Rien ID would be kind of ironic. Did we learn anything about Sinclair's sign? Dante's inquiring about the outcome of the research on the sign. I've heard. Can't do Vergilius unless I'm like really losing my voice and can like force the gravel. I've heard from the researchers, but nothing of particular significance came out of it. Observation of the sign has so far been limited to 2 individuals, the manager and Sinclair. Due to the limited accessibility of the phenomenon, the only verifiable information so far has been its existence. Researching that which cannot be observed is bound to be difficult. Although speaking of Black Silence IDs, plural, it fits in with the red mist. I don't want it. Not till like EOS. They gotta save that stuff. It's same whenever like I see people speculate Zhao. I want them to save that stuff. Although I have no idea for next Valpurgis. Faust has a point. Aside from Sinclair, none of the sinners can actually see the sign. And the same would go for the researchers. Even Sonia said only a few select people could perceive it. If there were more individuals bearing the signs, there would be a wider pool for comparative analysis of statistical samples to narrow down the scope. However, records indicate no suitable references exist. At the present, the research effort is limited to reducing variables such as whether or not irregular phenomena are tied to the location where the battle took place. By individuals bearing signs, do you mean people like Damien and Sanson? Wait, then could those guys do what Sinclair did? Pull in some superpowered future self and just wreck anything? I don't want to think about superpowered future Damien. I think he's already peak. Even Sonya? I should step in and put an end to this subject before Rhodia gets the blues. I don't think so, from what Ishmael and Faust reported back then. Right, Sinclair from the future said each sign carries a different power, I think. Maybe, you know, those layers of light rings Damien used to finish off Cromer, or Sanson dragging us into his story, those could be it. Aye, that does seem plausible. So, none of this is information we can confirm yet. Correct. As you have stated, any discussion of this subject would not venture beyond the realm of wild speculation. Nothing has been proven yet, ergo, fear would be an unnecessary response at present. I don't think we've even seen you this chapter. This is, at best, grounded in supposition. But it would seem that the researchers are coaxing forth a hypothesis from the vestiges left in the wake of Sinclair's future self. Oh, that bit about the sign maybe being some singularity or whatever, yeah? Sign is a singularity. That's a new one. The precise position of the hypothesis was that the fundamental principles of the sign's working may be equivalent to those of singularities or relics. But as no actionable evidence was obtained from Sinclair, there is presently no means by which this hypothesis may be validated. I see. Then nothing came of them dragging Sinclair off for that research. Oh, you also thought I was being dragged off, but still let it happen anyway? No, I mean... I'm kidding, just thought I'd try going along with the mood. The old Sinclair wouldn't have even thought to joke around like that. He's really changed lately. For the better, I think. So, did anything happen that we should worry about? I stuck close to him just in case. Nothing serious came up. Just took some blood, a small skin sample. Oh, and they're also checking if the sign reacts to electrical stimulation. Yeah, and I had to fill out some questionnaires too. Things like, please describe what you remember from the battle exactly as it happened, or list the sensations you felt when you regained consciousness. How about like a Rorschach? And your memories of that moment have yet to return? No, I don't know if they'll ever come back actually. Val says that they only exist with my future self, so I was gonna say, I don't know if they're like really memories. They're not really his. I mean, are they... If it's something your future self remembers, how does... Is that even a... memory? Wait, but for my future self to even have those memories, shouldn't I carry them in the first place? Which comes first? A paradox, it would seem. In such a case, a chicken and the egg. That Sinclair is merely one branch among many possible futures. Oh no, tiny text. If the future unfurls into boundless branches by means of ceaseless bifurcation, then the body of information that constitutes a certain future would scatter into grains more fleeting than dust, too diminished to ever reverse their course and trace their path back to the self that now exists. Is that the theory suggested? Not a certainty, but a plausible interpretation. Here you go again, more of that nonsense only you lot understand. Oi, memory or not, that future guy still came out of him, didn't he? And some part of him's got to be left in there somewhere, yeah? Like muscle memory or whatever? Perhaps he can still pull off some of those tricks from back then. Is this how it works? Tricks from back then? Heard you kicked off proper out there. Even pulled out that trick you picked up from that bastard old geezer, right? Not just that, he was using that Mang technique quite effortlessly too. What? The glowing ring thing? Yep, the glowing ring thing. He had two of them coiled around his weapon. Heathcliff was doing the bat to the face again. Here's the glowing ring thing? We should just call it that now. I mean, before the terminology was like super used, we still called them rings all the time. This is the first time I'm hearing anything about it. Alright, so what exactly is that glowing ring thing? Anyone? Maybe some technique that enhances physical capability? Is Vergilia still there? I mean, I guess that flashy aura that makes you real tough is one part of it, but there's gotta be more, right? Dunno, could be a secret finger thing they passed down to their members. Technique, gear, something like that. Look at it, that Black Coney leader, that Lei guy, and the nurse fathers we fought. A lot of them's fingers, ain't they? But Vergilius and the Indigo Elder and Damien. The notion seems to unravel, for even among the LCD, there are those who came to wield it. Yeah, and them. And Vergilius too. So what, only the proper art guys can use it? Some posh top-end trick, is it? Without anyone in particular prompting it, the sinners slowly turn their gaze toward Regilius and Vespa. I only learned to wield it from my team leader, too. I have a sensory understanding of Shin, but I claim nothing too profound. However, what I can spare is some rumors, though they're all without proper sources. Rumors? They circulated among elite fixers and association leadership. That there exists a power called Shin, capable of enhancing the body without having to pay expensive upkeep costs. A rumor among fixers, sayest thou? It's good I like putting it in the context of it's like cheaper than prosthetics in a way, cause I like it definitely being portrayed as like an equalizing power. Since that was always kind of the point with ego as well. It's something that like anyone can wield. Cause like even when you look at all the people, it seems like you have to be like strong already to use it. When you look at all these guys here, I like it. It'll be cool if like one of our base sinners gets to unlock something of the sort. Well, I mean, it's interesting. It's not just like a power, but you don't have to pay. Count me in. Yes, even the technique to manifest it. How do tips really spread throughout hearsay? Oh yeah, that tracks. That super rookie column in the latest mag bonus bit. Bro was really popping off with it. Straight up aura farmed with a shiny ring wrapped around the weapon. Oh, I want to know about like the city's social media. Oh, I know about the city TikTok so much. Must be that mine eyes are yet to be privy to seeing such a marvel in a video. Wait, you serious? It's in the latest issue, literally on the videotape in the back. Maybe you missed it? Are we still on VCRs? Videotape? Alas, for many a week I've been stranded from Mephi, relieving me of a chance to read not only the prior chronicle, but the latest one as well. Woe is me. When I return, I shall feast through the night upon the noble exploits of adventuring fixers. Generate Mang challenge gone wrong, arbiters were called. As Don Quixote dramatically spiraled into a state of utter dejection, Otis cut into the conversation, her gaze narrowing with suspicion. I've always liked the anachronistic technology in the city, me too. Even though you get to see places that are like super advanced, I also really like the very like tactile feeling technology for like seeing in this background. That's why I like in Alien and Aliens, the sort of retro future depicted there is, I think, like one of the coolest aesthetic versions of the future I can imagine. From what I recall, the mantle of Shin grants its users a high degree of physical enhancement. There's no such thing as reinforcement without supplies. No power of that magnitude comes without an equivalent cost to wield it. SP. That power relies on emotion and will for manifestation. Its output is not consistent like prostheses and augmentation. And depending on how it is used, the consequence it demands can reach levels comparable to the ego you use. The stat futurism, yeah. You mean to say that it exacts a toll upon the mind? I can walk you through the fundamentals if you'd like. Yes, please? From what I observe, it appeared to be the technique reserved for those of considerable strength. At our current level, it is not unreasonable to assume that we could make use of it. Regarding that, our team leader has been conducting intensive research. And according to her, physical strength itself has little bearing on one's ability to learn and wield Shin. As the Yellow Harpoon says, It is, in essence, a power that can be learned by almost anyone, provided they know the proper method of training. Vespa's brows visibly twitched the moment Yellow Harpoon left Regulus's lips. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's a big fan of his own title. The Yellow Harpoon, Well, it fits, I think. He's got those yellow stripes on his clothes, and uses harpoon too. Can he argue with that? What's the... I don't know if it came out by the time the Intervallo came out. What's the... I'm sure everybody knows. I haven't even read Chainsaw Man, but I know the meme. If I were to exaggerate, even Song's pre-contract self could manage to learn it. Why must the self of mine be chosen as the point of comparison? Well, 'cause you're the wimpiest one here. Don't let it get to you. You can't say that when you're like the most... Gonna be like one of the most powerful ones. Even so, it'd be a mistake to assume it's a power anyone can grasp with ease. As long as you are bound by contract as sinners, your ability to wield it will be severely limited. Unless you rely on particular identities or come upon an extraordinary circumstance. Shame that. Would have been useful. Hey, then what about me? Can I learn it too? Kira, who had been fidgeting with her fingers, raised an arm and asked as though she couldn't hold the question back any longer. Come to think of it, the middle nurse father didn't use any Shinamang. Just had ridiculous grit, which I love. Papa never taught me how to use it. He always said I could get stronger without it. A silly crutch like that. It wasn't that he didn't teach you, he couldn't. He was a man who probably had never once reflected upon his own sins. A piece of trash like him would be incapable of even comprehending such a power in the first place. Vespa's responses always came back dripping with venomous hatred whenever the conversation turns to the topic of the fingers. Kira must have noticed too, or perhaps she simply couldn't find the right words to push back. Either way, she held her tongue, her expression settling into a blend of frustration and something that looked a little too close to sadness. If you wanted to reduce it to a yes or no, then yes, you'll be able to learn it with the odds in your favor. That is, assuming that the company decides to tolerate your continued existence. Calm down. I already said I get it. As it stands, you're nothing more than a pending case of disposal, closer to a threat than you are an ally, strictly speaking. Don't get comfortable because the manager and the sinners treat you with a lenience. Step out of line, and you'll be the one who pays the price. Of all the people to say it, Vergilius. She's like an orphan! Can you think about it like that? There was nothing in what Vergilius said that I could argue with. Kira had been a member of the House of Spiders. She murdered scores of LCE researchers. And left us with plenty of memories we'd rather not revisit. For now, we're just working together. Not contesting that decision doesn't mean we have no hard feelings toward her. Leaving Kira alone with her thoughts, the sinners slipped back into their own business. Snacks, idle chatter, and conversations about whatever had happened around LCE. The examination is concluded. I suppose it wouldn't be an issue to let you hear the results together. And before we knew it, Hohenheim and Ryoshi returned. Kira. Can I ask how many total chapters there are in this intervallo? "14 chapters." Not even half 16. Less than halfway. I guess we can split into 3 if we wanted. I'm just feeling a bit low today, but we'll do a bit more on Monday, and we have to do split into 3. If I'm a bit out under the weather, we can do that, and then we'll be catching up on other stuff. I was just being like, oh, I can play on Wednesday during maintenance to entertain people while we wait for the update. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Only 4. Let's play during maintenance. We'll play something else. I do have to catch up. I assume we'll have at least a week before the next interval. We'll definitely catch up before then, and I'll do other stuff. But sorry, of all the times to start feeling under the weather, going a bit low. Right now when I return. Is not the best, but thank you everybody again. Thank you all so much for your kindness and support over the last while. It means so much to me, and I love being able to share and experience Limbus with everyone. I'm glad I saved it. But as always, I hope everybody is doing well and stays. Thank you every 16 months, Phils. Thank you. Wow, I've been looking at getting some more members badges as we keep going. It's probably time. But yes, I hope everybody is happy, healthy, and safe. And I will see you soon. And thank you for 11 months, Zoa. See you soon. Bye bye.